Hello and welcome to my channel Polyglot Reading. My name is David, and today I have another announcement to make. On the occasion of my channel birthday and the 1000 subscribers video, some subscribers asked whether and how I would continue with the topic of science fiction literature here on my channel. And I had announced that I was planning to do a series on classics of the science fiction literature. And the planning has now become a bit more concrete and specific. And so from February on, there will be a new series here on this channel with the title Backwards Through the Galaxy. And in this series, each month I will present a milestone of science fiction literature. Why this title, Backwards Through the Galaxy? In 1985, David Pringle published a book where he proposed a list of the 100 best science fiction novels from 1949 to 1984. And this so-called Pringle list has become legendary, quite an important point of reference in the history of science fiction literature. It even has its own Wikipedia entry. And so working through this list will certainly enable anybody to have a good insight into a good selection of highly important works and milestones of science fiction literature, at least of the 20th century. And now there are already a couple of projects on BookTube where people are reading in chronological order the novels of the Pringle list. I know of at least two channels in the German niche of BookTube that have a project like this, reading and reviewing a book from the Pringle list month after month in chronological order. And that's Thomas from the channel Schundleser and Mitch on his channel Fantastic Freund. And if you understand German, please check them out. But so the calculation is quick: 100 books, and one book every month. So that means it's a really long-term project. It will take a good 8 years and something before this project arrives in 1984, unless you fire up the warp drive every now and then. So that's why Mitch from the channel Fantastic Freund and I came up with the idea of also setting up a complementary project where we are going through this list in reverse order. Starting with the latest novel in the list and moving gradually back in time. So, and yes, and that's what we are going to do, and we're doing it in sync, and hence the title Backwards Through the Galaxy. Also, sort of a tongue-in-cheek reminiscence to Hitchhiker Through the Galaxy. Okay, so how does it work? Every last Friday of the month at noon, our videos of the current science fiction novel from the Pringle list are going to be released simultaneously. So on Mitch's channel, his video, and then I will present my video on this channel here. Mitch will do these videos in German only, but I will release my videos as usual in all three main languages of my channel. So that's English, Italian, and German. And the project will start on February the 28th. So on February 28th, our videos on the Neuromancer trilogy, or sometimes also called Sprawl trilogy by William Gibson, will be released. So until then, it's a trilogy. So until then, we have 3 books to read, and that's also why we are announcing this today. So if there's anyone who does not want to be just surprised by the videos, but would rather read the novels in advance so that they can join in the discussion a bit more prepared. So there's still 5 weeks to go, so it should be manageable to read the complete trilogy before we release our video. And how will it go on after that? So on March 28, we will present the novel The Birth of the People's Republic of Antarctica by John Calvin Batchelor, a book from 1983. On April 25th, we will continue with No Enemy But Time by Michael Bishop, 1982. Then on May 30th, Oath of Fealty by Larry Niven and Jared Purnell, 1981. And on June 27th, The Unreasoning Mask by Philip José Farmer. Then the next work on the Pringle list is The Shadow of the Torturer, and this is the first of 4 volumes in the Book of the New Sun series by Gene Wolfe. And We have the ambition to present the whole series of 4 books, but squeezing that into a single month would be a bit ambitious. So there will be a short summer break in July and August where we do not publish any videos on the science fiction topics, but we read the whole tetralogy, and then we will continue with the presentation on September 26th, where we present all 4 books of this 4-part series. The next work will also be not a standalone novel, but it consists of 2 parts. It's The Complete Roderick, or The Education of a Young Machine by John Sladek from 1980. And here again, we will also take a little bit more time with this, and we will not present this book until just in time for Christmas, on December 26th, which is, I think, in English called Boxing Day. So that's the draft overview of what is going to happen in this series backwards through the galaxy in 2025. For those who are also watching German BookTube and who are familiar with the regular Pringle-list-project, there's one thing that is important for me and for Mitch to emphasize. So what we are doing here, this reverse order project, is not meant to be a competing project to the regular Pringle-list project, but it's meant to be a bonus, a complementary project for those who get a little impatient with the project duration of 8 years. And in the regular project, also the character of the videos will be a bit different. So, because if you proceed chronologically in this list, you can also set a different focus. You can show some aspects of the historical development of the genre. You can see when authors adopt or develop stylistic techniques or motif. And and learn from each other. So this is the right kind of project for readers who are at home in science fiction literature and have the necessary background knowledge to discover and recognize and appreciate and classify these things. With me, in the reverse order project, you will get a completely naive impression, not influenced at all by any prior knowledge of science fiction literature. For me, everything will all be new and surprising, and it's a completely different perspective. And this project is also not primarily designed as a read-along project, so it's not comparable to the long-term close reading projects that I do on my side channel, where I have this close reading project of Thomas Mann's Magic Mountain and soon of James Joyce's Ulysses. So here in this series on science fiction literature, you should be able to enjoy the review videos even if you haven't read the respective novel. And the objective of these videos here is more to serve as an appetizer or to help you decide whether you want to read this book or not. But we want to make it at least possible to read along with the book, and which is why we're announcing the schedule for this series today, a good 5 weeks in advance before we start releasing the first video. So that's it. I hope to see you here again on Friday, 28th of February, to discuss the Neuromancer trilogy or Sprawl trilogy by William Gibson. I think it's really a milestone. So even I know a little bit about this one. So terms like matrix, cyberspace, cyberpunk, these are just 3 keywords that are inextricably linked to this trilogy and which were introduced not only to the science fiction genre by this trilogy in the first place, but they also became common knowledge, commonly used terms in everybody's language. So we will start off with a real bang, with a real masterpiece and milestone of the science fiction literature. I'm looking forward to the project and to your comments. Until then, have a great reading time. Take care. Bye and ciao.